Imagine the shock of receiving a job application from your worst enemy, who single-handedly destroyed your entire demonic empire. That's exactly what our hero, Leo Demonheart, decides to do as he changes careers. The anime begins with Leo walking towards the castle of the demon queen Echidna with a clear goal. He wants to be hired by the very demon army he once destroyed. Having single-handedly defeated everyone and left the castle in ruins, the initial response is obvious: send the hero away. However, Leo eventually convinces the four generals Edvard, Mernes, Lily, and Christina hear his proposal, explaining how he managed to defeat each of them. Edvard, the stereotypical character who thinks with his muscles, recognizes Leo's power and is willing to accept him. He also wants to be with him because, according to his race's customs, if an individual of the opposite sex defeats you in battle, you are destined to mate. Mernes, on the other hand, is indifferent to the universe. Christina, the most critical of the generals, asks why on earth he wants to join them. Leo opens up about what happened after he defeated them. The humans he saved began treating him like a monster, fearing his overwhelming strength. They even attempted to assassinate him, fearing he would become the next Demon King. Due to this widespread panic, the king himself exiled Leo from the lands he once called home, despite his years of service. This led him to the idea of abandoning his own world and allying with the demons. Christina believes him and agrees to hire him for a month's trial, but he must stay away from Echidna to avoid being discovered. The next day, Leo invades Christina's room, mimicking the queen's voice, which sends the blonde into a panic and, consequently, a fury. In response, she begins attacking him with her magic, all flustered, which is somewhat comical. Leo also notices that she is under a lot of stress, as many demons fled after the destruction he caused as a hero. Christina is the only general with the knowledge and ability to handle the Empire's bureaucracy. To ease her workload, Leo offers to help with the mana reactors, which currently only function through her magical frequency. To do this, he transforms into a soldier clad in armor from head to toe, using the false identity of the Black Knight Onyx to move around the castle without raising suspicion. He quickly resolves the issue with the help of Dionette, demonstrating firsthand to his boss how he managed to solve this problem. The issue was permanently resolved through talismans that help Christina's subordinates mimic her magical frequency when maintaining the mana reactors. With this example, he also shows Christina the importance of delegating tasks to her subordinates, as it helps organize her work schedule and gives her more time for herself. This leads to them becoming friends, and it seems someone is already earning points to become an effective collaborator in this empire. Leo's next task is to assist Lily with her organization and logistics of supplies and exploration. As initial information, Christina mentions that the Sea Dragon people of Largo, partners of Echidna, are helping with the transportation of supplies. However, Lily is a leader who doesn't take many things seriously and seems to be just playing around. Upon arrival, Leo attempts to devise an action plan but can't accomplish much, because the real problem is the leader herself, with her playful style influencing all her subordinates. Seeing no other option to convince her of her responsibilities, he devises a plan to summon a venomous viper, get bitten by it, and pretend to be dying from the poison to motivate the brat to fetch herbs for him. Apparently it works, as she takes on the mission, transforming into a giant white wolf and setting off on her quest. During the process, she encounters several obstacles set by Leo to teach the importance of teamwork. The first was advancing through a tunnel blocked by a boulder, but instead of asking for help, she uses her strength to clear the path. Next, she needs to jump across a chasm. Leo disguises himself as a man named Godhearts to give her some advice on how to proceed with the help of others, but it doesn't have the effect he hoped for, at least in his eyes. In total, there were 6 obstacles, each overcome by Lily alone, leading the hero to believe he failed in his objective. The next day, he wakes up with the medicine delivered and learns that his lesson did have an effect. Thanks to his advice while disguised as Godhearts, Lily understood that it's good to listen to others and ask for help when planning. She just needed a different teaching approach to learn teamwork. Thus, she returns to the castle, and Leo receives another request, this time directly from Queen Echidna. He goes to meet her as the Black Knight Onyx. The obligation is a formal dinner with her. Of course, Echidna insists he remove his helmet, as it's a matter of table manners. but he manages to cast a disguise spell to mask his face. He then uses a strategy that usually works well to obscure anyone's good sense, getting the person drunk. It doesn't work, as Echidna seems to be a heavyweight drinker. He tries other tactics to end the dinner as quickly as possible. During the conversation, he asks about the possibility of Leo joining the army. The queen's reaction is obvious. She gets furious, saying he would only destroy her empire further. Ironically, the man sitting right in front of her is doing wonders on all fronts. Her anger stems from being prevented from obtaining the Philosopher's Stone, which intrigues the hero, not knowing her intentions with the artifact. Echidna reveals she wants to use the stone to improve life for her people, which earns Leo great respect for her noble intentions. After receiving such a sincere response from the queen, he feels he should honor her with the truth, including revealing his disguise. Just as he is about to reveal his identity, they are interrupted by Mernes with bad news. Mernes has decided to abandon his post in the army, leaving a note asking not to be searched for, while Edvard, the muscle-brained one, decides to do the same, feeling he failed to train his soldiers properly. They split up to search for the generals, and Leo takes responsibility for them. Upon finding Mernes, the general reveals the comical reason for his escape. He is afraid of conducting interviews with army candidates because he lacks good communication skills. Yes, the guy is very shy. To overcome this block, he asks Leo to teach him this skill in just 3 days. It's insane, but the deal is made, at least until Mernes returns to his post. Leo also resumes his meeting with Edvard, who was frustrated that his soldiers weren't as strong as he expected. The guy even tried to end his life, but due to his strong dragon body, the swords broke when trying to pierce him. With this misunderstanding cleared, we see the beginning of Edvard's communication training. He looks fabulous in a lovely waitress dress, and his internship in the cafeteria will be incredible. The focus of this job is to loosen up in conversation with customer service, as communication is essential for a waiter's excellence. While working, he also receives guidance and scolding from Leo. The guy learns quickly, and we see this during his service with a group of arrogant new recruits. His impeccable service and communication skills put the recruits in their place, leaving them face down on the floor. Afterward, Leo praises his progress, and they move on to the second stage of training, a simulated interview where Mernes is the interviewer. His first question is about the real reason Leo wants to join the demon army. This general is wise, as he knows that if Leo truly wanted to destroy humanity, he could do it alone and with ease. After all, he single-handedly defeated the demon army. This question is precisely because Mernes wants to know Leo's feelings after being betrayed by humans, as he also faced similar difficulties during his childhood. We learn that this general has demon blood, being conceived from a relationship between a human and a demon. Due to his past of slavery, he wanted to end the human race, which is why he helped Echidna in her invasion in search of the Philosopher's Stone. This was until they were defeated by Leo himself. Mernes even starts crying as he recounts his past, not understanding why Leo doesn't hold a grudge after being betrayed and exiled, yet still helps his fellow beings. At this moment, the hero reveals a bit of his millennial history, commenting on an era when humans dominated technology and science. However, a portal opened, allowing demons to invade Earth in search of a more prosperous place. Of course, this led to war, but even with all their technology, their weapons were ineffective against the high durability of the invaders. Eventually, they created their most powerful weapons, humans with demon hearts, strong enough to face and annihilate the enemies. Leo is one of these creations, being the most resilient and long-lived of all the weapons created at the time, which is why he has survived until now. Over time and countless battles, he became so strong that being killed by a demon was no longer a plausible reality, as no one had the strength for it. In the end, he comments that his orders were to save humanity, and that's how he has lived until today. However, after his recent betrayal, he finally felt free to leave behind the hero's path and start a new life. Logically, humans no longer needed him. Interestingly, this transparent conversation leaves the protagonist relieved, as he really needed to share a bit of his life story with someone. That someone is a young general who is shocked to learn that Leo is thousands of years old. With the interview simulation over, our heroes are satisfied with Mernes' progress and finally go to sleep. The next day, we learn about Edvard and his daughter Julieta, who reports that her father has been in a state of preparation, as his troops have been decimated by an original chimera. He is very stubborn and believes they should be as strong and wise in battle as he is. Of course, being as strong as a dragon overnight isn't plausible for everyone, right? Leo takes Julieta to an ancient online model factory from the era of machines, where he reactivates a robot and orders it to attack Edvard's troops. However, this antiquity turns out to be more powerful than expected, with its electronics having bugged over time, losing its damage limiters. Seeing its firepower, the soldiers flee for their lives, while the general faces the machine head-on. His simple strategy of brute force doesn't work, and he is nearly sliced in half. Leo and Julieta appear to help him defeat the enemy, giving him some tips on the robot's weaknesses. Now aware of its weak points, Edvard finally manages to take down the machine with a thrust to its chest. This battle serves as a lesson to highlight the general's lack of knowledge about some enemies still in the world, and the importance of listening to his soldiers' opinions. It's in these tight situations that they must work together, sharing their knowledge. The general finally understands his mistakes and apologizes to his troops for his behavior, promising to become a better commander. The next day, Christina tells Leo that he will be promoted to a leadership role. She also confesses that it would be better to share some of his story with the other generals. The four already know that his real intention isn't to destroy humanity, and Leo confirms that he will reveal everything at the next meeting. After saying goodbye, Leo recalls the time he met a demon named Hybrido, a dreamer who became a legend among demons. In this flashback, Hybrido was trying not to be killed by Leo. At that time, the demon king Bel had opened a portal to the human world so demons could experience a better life. However, with the portal's closure, Hybrido was trapped far from his world and was found by Leo. At that moment, they decided to exchange stories, with Leo also sharing his origins. The two ended up forming an unusual friendship. Hybrido tried to convince the hero to live a life that would bring him happiness, but their time together was short-lived, as Hybrido was captured by the damage control squad. Even in his final words, he remained firm in his convictions of coexistence, telling Leo that he had the choice to be free from the slavery of fighting for humans. This was the demon who planted the idea of Leo quitting being a heroic. Just took a few millennia for it to happen, right? Back in the present, Leo meets with Christina, still disguised as Onyx. Knowing she had already decided on his promotion, they are interrupted by a small emergency. Everyone is informed that the portal connecting the demon world to Earth will close in about 7 days due to a lack of crystals to maintain the magic. With this, the Queen is pressured to decide whether to retreat forever or attack with everything to conquer the Philosopher's Stone. Seeing his leader divided in her choice, Leo decides to act, revealing his identity. Of course, Echidna tries to incinerate him with her fire magic, but as we saw at the beginning of the anime, it's like trying to burn Superman with a match. After the Queen calms down a bit, she listens to what Leo has to say. He mentions that there is a second Philosopher's Stone that can be found in the Sexus Mountains. Despite their disagreement, the two unite after the four generals defend the alliance between Echidna and Leo. During the journey through the mountains, Leo shares with Echidna how she should use the Philosopher's Stone. Basically, she needs a copy of the user manual, which is in the hands of humans. In other words, a process of pacification between humans and demons is mandatory for them to enjoy this new era, unless they plan to invade again just to steal a new one this time, right? They didn't consider this possibility in the anime, but okay. As they walk, Leo shares a bit more about his 3,000-year past, revealing that his recent existence is preventing humanity from evolving. Upon reaching the top of the mountain, he reveals his true purpose, telling everyone that he has the Philosopher's Stone in his heart. At this moment, he challenges Echidna and her generals to defeat him and obtain the Philosopher's Stone. If they fail, he will descend the mountain and destroy all of humanity with his own hands. The film's music begins to play, and the demons will be in deep trouble if they don't attack with everything. Leo charges forward with determination, pressuring Echidna with his sword strikes. Edvard also makes his move, but his sword is easily blocked, and he is nearly pierced, if not for Mernes' binding magic. However, it doesn't do much good, as Leo escapes the trap and delivers a powerful kick to Edvard's ribs. We see his frustration with his immortality and lack of purpose being just a weapon of war. Unfortunately, his opponents don't seem to take the fight seriously, so Leo decides to raise the level of his attacks, launching a rain of light arrows. The group begins to make an effort, or they'll all end up as popsicle sticks. Leo doesn't hesitate to engage in dialogue with the protagonist, and as a result, he takes 2 arrows to the chest. Seeing the hero's coldness, the people finally wake up to reality and attack with seriousness. Even so, Leo continues to be strong and difficult to defeat. After all, he has over 3,000 years of combat experience. Even when Edvard, in his dragon form, is knocked down, his scales completely destroyed, and Mernes, with all his master assassin skills, is frozen in a powerful counterattack. Lily rises again in her divine wolf form, but is defeated with a single blow. With only one attack option left, Echidna decides to use a spell designed to nullify Leo's superpowers. However, this magic takes time to conjure, so Mernes still has the difficult task of keeping Leo occupied. She confronts him with a few magical strikes and mainly engages in a sensible dialogue to buy time. This general knows that Leo is lying about destroying the world. The only thing he truly wants to destroy is himself. With that said, Leo punches her, sending her flying. At least it was enough time for Echidna to finish conjuring the spell. Leo could have dodged the magic but didn't, simply thanking everyone for their efforts. In these final moments of the magic, we have another flashback where we see Leo in his constant quest for opportunities to save the world. In this memory, he recalls his hero syndrome, slowly beginning to crave war so he could fulfill his purpose of protecting humanity. This thought became so distorted that he even created new weapons like himself, whose mission was to cause chaos on Earth so he could save the world. However, when the portal to the demon world reopened, he realized his horrific decision and understood that he had gone mad due to his eternal solitude. At that moment, he realized that the greatest evil in the world wasn't the demons but himself. He thought the best logical solution was for someone trustworthy to take his Philosopher's Stone, and Echidna had proven to be an excellent candidate for it. All his time with the demon army was just a test for them to prove their worth. Echidna realizes Leo's intentions and feels sorry for him, having endured so much pain and suffering. Now, with everyone on the same side, Leo receives a combined attack from the 4 generals, resulting in a severe wound to his chest. He falls to the ground, feeling good for finally being defeated, and asks them to remove the Philosopher's Stone from his heart before his powers return. However, Echidna decides against this plan and appoints Leo as the ambassador of peace between humans and demons. Leo isn't thrilled with the idea, as he just wants to rest in peace and have the stone removed from his chest. End of story. But all the demons refuse to kill him. He asks each of the generals to complete this task, but they all refuse. After a brief moment of conflict, Leo frees himself from his self-destructive thoughts and finally fulfills Hybrido's advice. He begins his new life as Echidna's subordinate. She asks if he regrets continuing to live. Leo says he truly wants to help fulfill her desire to create a better world for demons. Now, they officially begin their new working relationship. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this journey and want more exciting stories, don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell for updates on our latest content. Share your thoughts in the comments and let us know what anime or stories you'd like us to explore next. Your support means the world to us. Until next time, keep exploring.